Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Brianne Beebe. I'm a high school math teacher and an organization enthusiast. So I don't know how you feel about the holidays. Personally, I'm apprehensive. They're not my favorite, but I know that for people, whether they enjoy the holidays or not, that this time of year can be very overwhelming, especially as a teacher, because in addition to preparing our own families for holiday festivities, we also have students in our classroom to prepare for holiday festivities. We also have likely report cards, or for me, it's not report cards due around this time, but it's progress reports. So there's just a lot going on extra on our plates at this time of year. So I wanted to share some of my favorite strategies that help me reduce overwhelm so that you have them ready in your back pocket when you need them. But before we get started, I want to invite you to join me and hundreds of other teachers for the Organized Teacher Challenge. This time around, the challenge starts on Monday, December 12th, so that you can still be in your classroom, and that way we can tackle your paper clutter issues. So if you have a hard time organizing paper, make sure you join. The link to sign up is in the description box below, and we're going to get your paper organized before you go away for winter break. The first strategy is to create a brain dump. This is my absolute favorite. In fact, this is my go-to strategy. My main strategy anytime I start to feel overwhelmed, it's to sit down and just make a list of everything on my mind. It literally lightens my mental load because I'm trying to remember all of the things that I have to do. And sometimes it's like the littlest thing that is so easy to forget, but just the simple act of writing it down and actually being able to let it go from my mind helps me to feel less overwhelmed. But beyond that, I get to see in front of me everything that I need to do. It makes it easier for me to prioritize and to schedule out these tasks. This right here is actually my favorite way to brain dump. So I have this as a template that's in my planners, but also just available on Teachers Pay Teachers if you're looking for something like this. But on the one side, I have a space to brain dump everything that's on my mind. And then on the other side, I have the days of the week so I can take things from my brain dump and schedule them onto specific days. So that way I'm making sure that I am tackling everything that's on my list. The next thing that I do when I'm feeling overwhelmed is I will clear my space. Just physically cleaning up my space helps so much. So when I'm overwhelmed, again, it's something that is going on inside of your head, right? So you have a lot to do, and then you cannot help but notice the mess that might be surrounding you. So if I'm looking on my desk at work, I might see a post-it note that I wrote to myself, and I might see something that a student turned in late that needs to be graded. I might see notes from colleagues perhaps on my post-it notes, or just different things that students may have dumped on my desk. Or I might look up from my desk and see across the room that students did not put away the calculators properly, or the Chromebooks that I have in my classroom for them to use when they forget. And these things, they'll distract me from what it is that I'm actually trying to do. So it's important for me to just take the time to clean up a little bit. And if I'm able to do this before I have to sit down and work, it's going to help me focus so much better, because a quick glance in any direction is not going to derail my concentration and make me start realizing all these other things that I have to do as well. And again, don't forget, if it's paper clutter that is derailing your train of thought and making you feel overwhelmed, definitely sign up for the Organized Teacher Challenge. My next strategy is to just do one small thing. Sometimes that is all you need to help you get started. This past summer, it was getting like close to being back to school, and there were still so many things that I wanted to do around the house, but at the same time, I wanted to relax because summer was ending and I didn't really feel like doing different things like cleaning my children's bedrooms. That was the big thing I had to do, like declutter things that they had grown out of and just reorganize a little bit and clean. So I started with their closets. I first cleaned out my daughter's closet, and that got me going, and it creates this like motivation snowball where I start with this one small thing and then I feel really motivated to tackle the next thing. So I started out saying, you know what? I'm just going to clean their closets today, because the thought of cleaning out their entire bedrooms was really overwhelming. But just by taking care of their closet first, it got me motivated to finish the rest of the room. And that was done within a day for each of them. It didn't really take that long. It wasn't all day. It was like a part of the day, if you know what I mean. So knock something off of your to-do list, let it make you feel good, and then go ahead and tackle something else. Or not. If you do that one small thing and you don't feel ready to take on the world, try this next strategy and just take a break. Sometimes you need to give yourself a break. It's important. For me, this is the hardest strategy to implement because if I'm not doing something and if I'm sitting there relaxing, I struggle so bad. I just start thinking about all the things that I have to do and that need to get done that aren't getting done because I'm relaxing. But once I'm able to really relax, I do feel better, and then better able to handle anything on my to-do list that is stressing me out. I'm sure you've heard the phrase by now, you can't pour from an empty cup, but I actually like the analogy of driving, that if you just keep going and going and going, your gas tank is slowly depleting. You're better off stopping to fill your gas tank so that you can keep going than to keep going and run out of gas and then be stuck. Because you know, if there's no gas, then you can't go. My final strategy ties into doing that one small thing. It's to make those tasks that you don't want to do, whatever it is that you're dreading that's making you feel stressed, make it enjoyable by incorporating some kind of activity that you do enjoy. This is multitasking, yes. So whenever I have to do something, let's say it's washing the dishes. I actually enjoy washing the dishes. I know I'm weird. I enjoy doing laundry too. I like folding it. It's soothing. I'm weird. Let's use the example of washing dishes. I actually like to wash dishes. I find it very relaxing. Something about the water. The other example that's usually thrown out is doing laundry, and I like doing laundry too. Folding laundry is soothing. I know I'm weird. But let's say you have to wash a sink full of dishes and you're not looking forward to it. It's probably, you know, Thanksgiving night and you didn't cook, so now you get to clean. That's just how it goes. So if you're looking at that sink full of dishes and you don't want to do it, but it's also bothering you that it's not getting done, find something you can do that you enjoy while washing the dishes. It could be listening to music or a podcast. My personal favorite is to actually take out my iPad and put a video on and watch that or listen to it in the background as I'm washing dishes. It just makes it like a fun activity. I mean, I'm having fun anyway because I like washing dishes, but if you don't like washing dishes, you know what I actually don't like to do is cook. That's when I actually end up watching a lot of videos is while I'm cooking. And so those are my 5 favorite strategies for helping me handle feeling overwhelmed, especially around this time of year. I definitely use more home examples, but I do the same things at school. A lot of the time, if it's my planning time, I have something in my AirPods listening to a podcast. It's probably 60 songs that explain the 90s. Hands down my absolute favorite right now. So I do incorporate a lot of these strategies at school. My brain dump list actually I showed you was from school and what I've been working on during my planning periods. But these strategies really do work anywhere for anything, and they work at other times too. It doesn't have to be the holidays. So that is everything for this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. And if you have anything to add to it, please leave that in the comments below too. Just because these are the 5 strategies I shared doesn't mean that they're going to be your go-to strategies. And if you have something that works for you, please share it for other teachers to find later. So as always, thanks for watching, and make sure you don't forget to sign up for the Organized Teacher Challenge.